Your church isn't broke. Their priorities are. Every week you hand over money, and most of it goes straight into making Sunday comfortable for people who, if we're being honest, already have plenty. Well, the world suffers just outside their doors. The Bible calls this theft. Here's the hard truth. In too many churches, most offerings fund comfort. Fancy sound systems, coffee bars, cushy pews. While only a fraction goes to life-changing ministry, feeding the hungry, housing the homeless, spreading the gospel to people who've never heard it before. That's the work God calls us to. And pastors, most don't even notice. They've inherited a system that rewards comfort, not impact. Think about it. Your giving, your energy, your heart, mostly funding comfort. That math should bother you. The widow's mite tells the story. Rich people threw wads of cash into the offering plate in the temple. Then a widow gave 2 coins, less than a penny. Jesus said she gave more than all of the rest because she gave everything she had to help people, not a building. The early church, they got it. Acts 2, believers met in homes. No grand lobbies, just fellowship, care, service. That's the point. Paul said it straight. Your body is the temple, not some building. Ezekiel 34 warns God hates shepherds who feed themselves instead of the sheep. Micah 6:8, act justly, love mercy, walk humbly. Buildings impress people, sure, but service, that impresses God. Here in Wyoming, community isn't just words, it's action. If your buddy, he calls you at 3 a.m. and his truck is stuck in a ditch, you don't just say, yeah, well, I'll be praying for you, brother. You grab a tow rope, you pray, then you hop in your truck and you pull him out yourself. When someone's sick, you don't just say, yeah, well, I'll be praying for you. Hope you feel better. God will heal you. You pray, but then you bring them what they need. Vitamin C, soup, a hug, no masks, no distance, just care. When someone's barely holding on, you don't just like their post or send them a text, thinking about you. You drive to their house, you sit with them, you listen, and you do what you can to lighten the load. That's what real community looks like. That's what the early church did. They didn't build monuments. They built bridges. Ask yourself, is your church building monuments? Or are they building lives? But when 80% of all the resource goes towards the Sunday service and comfort, and only 20% go to service, something is backwards. Imagine if church parking lots were food lines every Sunday. What if church doors were open every day of the week, helping families with childcare, groceries, and just the everyday struggles of life? Everyone complains about these massive government entitlement programs. But what if they looked to the church like they should for help, and the church was there to give them support? Everyone goes to church to get a word or to figure out some life hack from the Bible. But what if the church became his hands and his feet, not focused on ourselves, but those outside of its walls? The widow gave everything she had to help people. What if our churches did the same? If this challenges you, good. If it makes you angry, just ask yourself why. Hollywood taught me what fake worship looks like. I just never expected to see that same thing in the church. Bottom line, ministry isn't the building. It's the people. Maybe it's time our churches realize that. I want to hear from you. If your giving could feed a struggling family instead of funding comfort, would you change anything? Be honest and explain why in the comments. Subscribe if you want truth, not just shallow traditions. And check out the Hollywood story linked below for the real reason I left Hollywood. Find Jesus, fight culture, and spread the good news.